So today I want to talk about what success is, how you can define it, how you can articulate it, how you can change it. Success is meant to be evolved, it's meant to change over time. And the reason I want to do this, I'm not here to sell you guys anything, because I wanted to share with you guys what I found to be so valuable since I left high school and what has made me feel successful. What is success? Let's go ahead and rifle it off. What is success? One of you guys, come on, tell me what success is in your mind. Evan.
Satisfaction.
Satisfaction, I love it. Duncan.
Being able to say you made it, I guess.
Say you made it, sure. No, that's perfectly fine. Again, guys, there's no wrong answers today. Please be open, be honest. That's what this is all about. This is about you guys. Grace Ann.
Just being happy with yourself.
Being happy, I love that one. Yes.
Learning.
Learning. Perfect answer. Here's some other ones I put up because I found it in varying order of relevancy. So yeah, fancy car, big house, yacht. You want the hot wife or the hot husband? You know, I to be honest, that sounds like success to me. If I could wake up next to someone every day and be like, hey, I'm a lucky guy. That doesn't sound too bad either. So it can be that basic. Gratitude for your life. This is one that falls into mine. You know, my version of success. I want to wake up and I want to feel grateful to be here. I want to be grateful for the things I'm doing, right? Have that fulfillment. Impacting others, something that I think is super important to anybody's success. Because the days you don't feel like doing something, having that root, having that to fall back on, of you know where you're going and what you're doing for somebody else, that's going to make it a lot easier for you to get out of bed and to go do what you know you need to do. 3 things that you can do to create success by doing just 2 very simple things, and that's investing time and effort. First off, because it was extremely impactful for me when I was your age. Who in here plays sports? Surfers. All right, play sports casually. Surfs. I like to run. I like to go walk with the girls. What's it called? Hot girl walk these days? What? Yeah, perfect. All right, the hot girl walk, right? I love it. I love that concept. You know, you guys just getting together, go for a trot over to the beach, come back. That's great. All right, getting physically active is huge for your well-being. Every single day, you should be getting active, even if it's as simple as going on that walk to the beach. Me personally, I love lifting weights. Makes me feel good to wake up in the morning, go get a lift, good pump, come back in and do what I need to do, right? Eating foods that make you feel good. This goes for anything you're putting in your body. What you guys are going to put in your body is completely out of my hands. I can't tell you you're going to feel the ramifications of some of those things, whether it's junk food or what you consume on the weekends from Friday to Saturday and beyond. So you need to be aware of that, all right? What you're putting in is going to essentially lead you to how you're feeling and take care of your physical health. Implementing tactics to feel better. Another huge one for me, because this is something that was eye-opening. All right, who in here has ever tried meditation? Perfect, a couple of you guys. Everyone should have had their hands up, because meditating is as simple as every night before you go to bed, when you put your phone away. I feel like in my mind, that's the simplest form of meditation these days. It's just simply putting your phone down and thinking, hey, for the next 10, 15 minutes, I'm just gonna sit here, I'm gonna remain still, I'm gonna focus on my breathing. And you guys would be amazed what that can do for you. Run cold water on your face in the shower, get in an ice bath, do something of that nature. There are so many things that are deemed as recovery tactics. Foods, that's another great recovery tactic. Who feels amazing and ready to go run a 5K after they eat McDonald's? Shocker, right? That's not what you want to be putting in your body, all right? Building your physical body to build your mental capacity. Before I started working out, I didn't necessarily feel my very most confident. Today, I've had that newfound confidence, and one of the roots of that has been going to the gym and pushing those barriers, because you are meant to test your body, all right? You're meant to push those limits, and that's what's gonna make it possible for you to do anything else in your life. Is if you can control this, and you can dictate this and understand what you're gonna put in there, that's gonna give you the opportunity to go out and really tackle things that you never thought were possible. I love this saying. I think you should take this to heart. I'm not saying, again, you have to go lift weights. You have to change the way you look. No man has the right to be an amateur in the matter of physical training. It is a shame for a man to grow old without seeing the beauty and strength of which his body is capable. As you are putting yourself into a challenge to give yourself an opportunity to then overcome it and then feel better about yourself when you are leaving. Starting with this will be your number one priority to start creating success for yourself. Take care of your physical health, and you'll see it in every other aspect of your life. Me personally, I like to do morning workouts, right? That has been huge for me to get ready for the day. I show up energized, and I greet people with that. I came in today, I'm super psyched to see all you guys. Same thing. You greet people with that when you wake up and kickstart yourself to have success for that day. So you should wake up and you should, again, it's your choice. What works with your schedule? I don't know. That's all about figuring this out. That's why we're here today. But for me, doing it that way every day, I bring my best to work. I bring my best to our podcast. I bring my best to you guys. I bring my best at our summer sports camp. But kickstarting your day, taking care of your physical health, you've done one thing that's positive, that's going to roll out for everything else you do that day. So I just said, why did I put the gym first? Because it's what makes it possible for me to be successful financially and to be best prepared. I'm not going to sit here and tell you guys anything false. I'm not here to lie to you guys. I'm not here to sugarcoat anything. All right, we live in a capitalistic country. You know what that means? You make your own money. All right, so you guys need to have a serious conversation with yourself about money and what you're doing to better set yourself up for the future. What could you be doing? What field you want to work in? What quality of life is that going to take in forms of compensation plus the amount of time you're putting in? I promise you there's no one making $500,000 a year that's home for dinner 5 nights a week. Does that sound great for you guys? It's not necessarily what I would want to do. You'll learn. There's a balance. And it's really hard to find that balance, but as you guys are trying to navigate that path, you need to understand, what does that actually look like to be the $100 million CEO? How are you going to acquire financial wealth? I was just having this conversation with Officer Yvette. Everyone comes in here and they want to showcase you guys. Okay, I'm a doctor, I'm a lawyer, I'm an entrepreneur, I'm a teacher, I do this, I do that, whatever. I have 5 jobs. I don't know, who knows? Everyone works, right? If you want this, you need to be focusing on this. If you're a doctor and you're making amazing money, this, that, and the other, but you can't communicate to the people in the operating room, you're going to seriously struggle. And what's funny is everything is sales. My flyer that you guys saw was sales. It was marketing. It was communication. This conglomerate of skills you will take anywhere you go, no matter what position you decide. These are what you need to focus on. If you acquire these, any field you go into the future, you're going to be able to capitalize on that further than you can ever imagine by incorporating skills, not the definition of your JOB. When you're thinking about, where do I put my money? My favorite question, Colby, how do I invest $1,000? Put it into yourself. Do not go dump $1,000 into the stock market. I get it. It's a long-term play. It's this, it's that. But you will not acquire these just gambling in the stock market without that education that you've already found. So speaking of education, you have to have a self-awareness of what you really need, all right? How much in savings do you need to live for a year? I love the saying, don't invest anything that you can't afford to lose. When you're investing into skills, you've already won, as long as you execute on the program or whatever it is that you bought into. College is no different. When you go to college, you're paying to acquire skills in a field that should be applicable for you. Will your job provide the financial means to fulfill your desires? What was one of the first things I said made me successful? Desire. I had a burning desire to do something. And I didn't have the toolbox to necessarily do it when I first left high school. But that desire is going to be the basis of what you define as success. You're going to want to fulfill that. I don't care what your desires are. As long as I don't put you or anyone else in harm's way, of course, your desires are yours. I'm not going to tell you, don't go get the exotic car, or don't go buy the big house, or don't go live in a van. Like, whatever you guys want to do, that's your choice. I came out of high school with a lot of money. I'm not gonna lie. I worked my butt off. I told you guys I had a burning desire and I knew it was gonna take a lot of money. Success to me when I was sitting in your seats meant make a lot of money. Does that sound about right for kind of how you guys were coming in today? You thought I might give you this whole, hey, here's the route to make $1 million type of spiel. That's what a lot of people thought I was gonna do today, but that's really just not who I am anymore. I've learned too much. I now know too much about real life to come in here and tell you guys that $1 million is gonna solve your problems. But I did. I came out of high school with a lot of money. To be honest, I had about $10,000 by the time fall came around after high school. I worked all summer. I got profit sharing. We launched our summer camp for the first time. So I had about $10,000 in the bank. That means I was way beyond the 1% to be 17 years old. That was in October. By March of 2021, about 6 months later, I had less than $1,000 in the bank. How did that happen? I can tell you exactly how it happened. That desire got the best of me in some situations. I made some really bad investments because I saw this get rich quick. I saw schemes that I thought made sense and I was like, I'm bought in. I'm gonna commit to this. I wanna do this. Poured money into that, cut my losses. Some things there didn't work out, right? I put about half of it though into some extremely valuable courses and lessons and mentorships that have been monumental to my success. I would spend that money 10 times over, 100 times over to get the same value that I got that day. People talking about the similar things we're talking here today that I got for you guys for free, because that's what I want to do. I want to spit that game for you guys that you're going to need. But that's what I did with my money. I completely burned through it. I got like nothing to show for that money that I had at 17 years old. I mean, I'm just gone. Gone with the wind. Spent it. But it was an investment into myself. And at your age, you have a chance to play it risky. Do your due diligence. Understand what you need and what skills you need or want, and go invest into that to have them for yourself. Increase your skills. Increase your value. You have to realize that you don't have any other opportunities waiting for you if you're not willing to work for the first opportunity that has been given to you. This is something that really resonates with me heavily because, like I said, I started doing what I'm doing now at 17, fresh out of high school. I never looked any other direction. Was it exactly what I knew I wanted to do? Not necessarily. There was a lot of different things that I didn't know I wanted to do. I was just like you guys. I just wanted the money. I wanted to go make the bread. I wanted the big house, the Lamborghini in the garage. I wanted these things that were completely materialistic. So I was going to do everything I could to be that guy. So I took that opportunity. I want you guys to recognize that same thing. Give me some summer jobs. Who worked a job last summer?
Lifeguard.
Lifeguard.
Hostess.
Hostess.
Beach chair delivery.
Beach chair delivery. Love it. Get creative. Lifeguard. Fudge shop. Black Cat Pizzeria, perfect. All right, so I had a philosophy, and I want to share this with you guys. I had a plan when I was in high school. I would never work a job for more than 1 year because you have exhausted the value of that job after 1 year of experience. For the positions you guys have, go create new opportunities for yourself, right? When I was 7 years old, I got my first job, spreading mulch for my neighbors. She paid me like $70 for 4 days of work. First job. I scraped bee wax at a beehive spot where they get honey. I scraped bee wax for 3 hours a day after 7th grade for basically 6 months. That was my job. But back to high school, milkshake maker. Then I worked at David's Restaurant, high-end steakhouse. I learned how to communicate a little bit better. From there, I went and I was a kayaking tour guide. So I spent 4 hours on the water building personable relationships. That's what my skills are gone now. But the communication, the marketing, the sales, that's where you acquire some of that. Talk to people. You'd be amazed at what you learn from that. So understand you're going to acquire these new skills through getting uncomfortable. Take a new job. Be open to something that might not necessarily appeal to you, but that might set you up for success in the future. So always be open to new things. Money cannot buy you happiness. Money does buy security, lower anxiety. It buys experiences, which adds value and more excitement to your life. You can expand your impact, fulfill yourself through change. If I had $1 billion, I would definitely be able to do a lot of really, really cool, valuable things. That's why I'm not here to deter you guys from trying to be financially successful. It's because if you are the one with money, you have the power to do something amazing. You have the power to do something that people aren't doing. Who drives a car? Who paid for it themselves? Perfect. Me neither. That's what I'm talking about. You guys have no idea what some people go through, and it is so, so important that you guys recognize, number one, we debatably live in one of the best countries in the world, and I totally agree with that. Top 5 at bare minimum. Let's go with that. I think you guys would be really, truly shocked to understand what some people go through and experience on a daily basis. And you should take that responsibility on your shoulders to have a parent buying you a car, a roof over your head, putting food on the table. You go to a free public school with amazing people like this. You should take that as an opportunity to excel, not be complacent and be glad you get it. Go excel for that. Take advantage of the situation you're in. Capitalize on it. It's so important. You earned it, you spend it. Again, whatever you guys want to buy. Sounds fun, right? If it's investing in yourself, if it's going to get a house, if you always, for me, I've always thought in my mind when I buy a house one day, I would love to have some privacy. Right now I live on a super main road, super populated road in Jacksonville, and I just hear cars. Shoom, 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 all day. I want some privacy. That's the type of things you get to do when you create financial success. 77% of Americans say that they experience stress over their finances. I believe it causes 60% of divorces as well. There are so many problems that people experience because they physically don't believe they have enough money. Now, there are a lot of details that going into having enough money. You're bringing in $100,000 a month, but if your expenses are $90,000 a month or even $110,000, you're not very wealthy, are you? you're spending more than you're making. So it's a very intricate process, but I do want you guys to understand that that is super important for your mental health, to have that security long term, whether you want to buy the fancy things or not. So this is the biggest conversation of today. It's a huge one in my book too, because the two things we just talked about, very important. Taking care of your body, you want to live a long time, you want to be energetic. Your finances, right? You want to have the money to do the things that you want to do. But without this, you will not show up to the gym. You will not show up to work ready to add value and ready to impact the people around you. And you're not going to get paid. You're not going to experience any of the things we're talking about if you don't get this in check first. You're going to have bad days. You're going to have days that you don't want to get up. You're going to have days that you don't feel this. But you can best set yourself up to feel better. So let's be honest. There's like 12 of us in here. Who struggles with their mental health? Right? Who has days they don't want to get out of bed? Who has days they don't want to go to their job? Who has days that they struggle with who they want to be? Who has days they might not like their best friend or people that are really important in their life? All right? Crazy, right? That's the complexity of your brain. That's what I'm trying to get out there. It's like literally my favorite people on earth can frustrate me beyond measure on days that I'm having a bad day. It's because my mental health is clocked out and I'm out sometimes. But I do the things that I know are going to best set me up for those bad days. I want to tell you something that no one ever told me. You guys should take pride in what you have. You should take pride in your discipline. If you're willing to get up at 6 a.m. and go to the gym because you know you have to work 8 hours that day after school, you should take pride in that. If you're going to Camp Weed a couple times a year to go influence other young people and leave your impact, take pride in that. That's your mission. You should be proud of it. Take pride in your passion. And you should take pride in that. What you love. I know you guys in here, some of you guys love surfing. Some of you guys love beauty and cosmetics and outfits, things like that. And I love that too. I spend 10 minutes, 20 minutes trying to figure out what to wear today. Take pride in that. Take pride in your passion, what you enjoy. And one of the most impactful ones, take pride in your character. What did I tell you made me a bad kid in high school? I lacked character. If you're willing to do things that most people aren't willing to do for the betterment of yourself or those around you, you should really take pride in that. And if you're doing the things you're going to say you're going to do, if you're leading by example, you should take pride in that. You have a lot of character. And I know personally a lot of you guys. That was what's funny about this conversation today is I told myself, I'm not speaking to younger me. I'm not speaking to someone that was as down and out and lost as I was. But I do know that you guys go through these things. You guys all have so much character already. So you should take pride in that. If you lack the discipline, start working towards that. And then you can take pride in that. Everything we've talked about today. Everything that comes with success. Your dedication, your health, your experience, relationships, innovation, strength, enjoyment, excitement, creativity, resilience, service. All of these things that create success are built on this foundation. And that is my philosophy, and I firmly believe that. I prepared this slideshow in about 24 hours. It took me 10 years to figure it out and to make it, even though it only took me 24 hours to put it together. You guys have to understand how important this is. If you don't take care of your physical health, you're not going to show up ready to make money. If you're not making money, it's going to wear on you. You're not going to take care of your mental health. If you don't take care of your mental health, both of these will be non-existent. How to start today. This is something I really want you guys to listen to. You need to figure out what your desires are. Notice how I didn't start with, hey, set some goals. Set some goals. Why would I tell you to set goals? You don't know what you want. You need to have that conversation with yourself. What do you desire? And I'll just put it out there, some of mine, because I'm here to be honest with you guys. I do, in fact, desire the exotic car. I love something about them. I had a Lamborghini RC car when I was 7 years old. I didn't know what it costed. I just thought it was sick. Loved it. So I want one of those. Physically, I want to look good so I can feel good. And that mental part, what do I want that to look like? Do I want to be the guy that's home for dinner all the time with my kids and with my wife? Do I want to be the bachelor who spends from 20 to 40 traveling the world and doing my thing? How am I going to get there? So now you have your desires, all right? That second step, your goals. These are goals, I call them stepping stones, because with every goal you reach, you just establish a new one to this success at the end of the road that you want to envision and you want to create and you want to innovate over time. So you're going to create your stepping stones. For instance, if one of my desires was to make a surf trip next summer for my senior trip, one of my goals would be to put $3,000 in the bank strictly for a surf trip. If I wanted to buy the $600 prom dress in the spring to look sick and feel good, I would start with getting a job. That'd be one of my good goals. Put $600 in the bank, all right? So now you've got your desires, you've got the goals you know you need to fulfill. Now you have to create a schedule. It's almost like a checklist. So if I get to 4 o'clock on Monday and I end up doing nothing productive for the next few hours, I wake up on Tuesday and I say, okay, I can pick back up at 4 o'clock yesterday. What did I not get done? You need a schedule that works for you, and it eventually will become natural to keep up with your own schedule. You know yourself better than anybody else. But without that basis of to-do list, time frames, balancing school, job, friends, significant other, extracurriculars, you're going to get lost, and especially in real life. Like if you guys think you have responsibility now, you just wait. I live in a house alone. Talk about responsibility. You got a lot of responsibility there. Last but not least, execute. Now you guys know what you want, how you're going to get it. You need to implement it with the habits and mindset you know you need to succeed. To simplify all of this, be kind and do it with others. Being kind is the number one thing that I've found to make me successful since I left high school. You would be amazed at what a smile and a handshake and a compliment can do for you. Who's familiar with Concours d'Elegance on the island? The car show, right? This man had $6 million in cars on the golf course. And I noticed there were Jaguars plates. He had Jacksonville tags. So I was like, oh, this guy must be from Jacksonville. Well, I jumped right into conversation with him. Hey, Dr. Soleimani, my name is Colby Harris. I'm from Jacksonville. We run a summer sports camp around developing mental, physical, and emotional resilience. We also run a podcast highlighting top achievers in athletics and business, and I would love to have you on to tell your story. Send me an email. I'd love to do it. Emailed him 2 hours later, follow up, don't ever forget. I sent him an email 2 hours later. Boom. I locked this man up for a podcast guest just because I was kind and I was willing to talk to him. Doing it with others is so important. Raise your hand if you think it'd be easier to go to the gym if you and your 4 best friends could all do it together. Right? Yeah, absolutely. It'd be a lot easier. Raise your hand if you think it'd be easier to launch a business if you had you and 4 of your friends doing it. Exactly. I encourage you guys to start now and incorporate doing things with other people because you will be amazed at the value you find in that. Understanding what you desire is what's going to create that success for all of you long term. I genuinely want you guys to go home and seriously consider not what I've told you, not what everything you've learned, but for the last 18 years, what's led you to this moment. What are the things that you desire to have? Set those goals. What are your stepping stones to get there? Be real with yourself. Ask someone for help at this point. You've classified your desires. Now you can talk to other people about what you need to do. And then create a schedule. I know people shove this down your throat. But how do you think they make all this happen in school? Schedule. Everything is organized. So figure out what you want. Create goals to get there. And then create a schedule. Prioritize financial wealth, mental health, and physical health. And I promise you, you guys will fulfill whatever those desires are, no matter how big, how small, whatever it might be. I know you guys can do it. If I could do it, I genuinely believe anybody can do it. And if you don't think I'm a shining story, go look up someone like Tony Robbins. Go look up someone like Dwayne Johnson. I encourage you guys to start educating yourself on other people. You would be surprised the amount of problems and issues that you share with millions and millions and millions of other people. So let this be a stepping stone for you guys. Go out and continue to invest in yourself and figure out what those desires are and really how you can create that success for yourself. So.